Welcome to Talk of the Town, presented by Tree City Sports, your source for local sports. I am your host, CJ McLaurin. I thank you so much for joining us again today. As always, we're rocking the shirt made by AM Creations in Ottawa, Kansas. Go check them out on all of their social pages. And as is my morning tradition, I stopped by Arrowhead Nutrition and got my morning drink. This one is a Blue Mermaid, and it is fantastic, just like all of their wonderful products. Stop by, say hi, tell them we sent you. They are awesome. And I want to give a huge shout out to our friend Royal's mom at RJN Photography. If you mention this show at the time of your booking, she'll give you 25% off. So don't wait, go check them out and book them for all of your photography needs. And also our friend Drew at DNN Detailing. It's the time to get your classic cars out and take them to car shows. When you want to get your car show ready, hit up my buddy Drew at DNN Detailing. All right, guys, let's get into some sports news. So, the big news of the day is obviously that the Lakers finally hired JJ Redick to be their head coach. And the real question is, why did it take so long? We knew this was going to be the case. The Dan Hurley distraction didn't do any good for anybody involved, and it was just bad. You should have just went ahead and hired JJ at the beginning. And I don't know if Dan Hurley, I don't believe he used that to get more money, because as he claims, there was already a new deal that they had discussed. Who knows? Who knows? And that's the politics about basketball. You never actually know who's leveraging who for more money. It happens everywhere. It really does. But again, JJ Redick is the right fit to lead the Lakers. I think that he has the mentality to be able to deal with the star-studded roster that they have with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think that he is the best person to try and control that team and create an offense that they would be happy in, and that is also successful on the floor. I think that JJ understands how the NBA game is played very, very, very well. And so he is going to be a wonderful coach. No doubt about that at all. I'm curious to see how he does at leading the Lakers. And it's going to be exciting. As I said before, you really got to give him a couple seasons. But I really feel like by the time the All-Star break is over, they'll have figured it out. I think that JJ will have done something where they at least contend for a playoff spot. And I think that they'll take getting in the playoffs at this point. And I don't think that they will judge him as harshly as they would have Dan Hurley or anybody else they would have hired in this position. I feel like they're going to give JJ a little bit more leniency, and if he makes the playoffs and they perform well in the first round, or if they make it to the second round, he'll be all right. You know, his job will be safe. And I believe that he will do a great job as the head coach of the Lakers. But that's the fun of it. We'll wait and we'll see how they all mesh and how they coexist. I think that he'll be able to keep their ego in check, though, and I think that he will lead them to a decent season at very least. Speaking of head coaching changes in the NBA, it was announced that Monty Williams got fired from Detroit. As I said before, I really wish that the Suns had just given him at least one more year. And I get it, they signed Mike Budenholzer. And we're we're grateful for that because he is a great coach, and we cannot wait to see what the season brings this year, because last year under Frank Vogel was just a mess, and there wasn't a lot of hope there anyway, because just the way things went, nothing was the way that it should have been. But that's okay, because we learned from that. Hopefully the team learned from that, and under Mike Budenholzer, we'll be able to play together as a team and really work hard to go after an NBA championship. As a Suns fan, that's all we hope for, is just go for a championship, make the finals, and win one. We were so close before. Let's get there this time. Moving on to Big 12 news. Man, the naming rights deal, conference realignment, everything is moving 100 miles an hour. There was something really, really, really fun to think about. They got floated around recently. I mean, within the last few days. Apparently, Nebraska is considering leaving the Big Ten to rejoin the Big 12. I'm all for that. I loved the Nebraska rivalries, and I think that the Nebraska programs would thrive in the Big 12. It would be tough for them because we would make it hard for them to come back. Our teams would play lights out against them. But that would be the first year, and then we'd all get along again. It's all good fun. Nebraska coming back to the Big 12 would be huge. And it's not just about football, basketball, any of that. It's about adding depth to the Big 12. And Nebraska as a brand would absolutely add depth and strength to the Big 12. And the Big 12 would absolutely be wise to consider it. I mean, the fact that it would show that we can draw teams from the Big 10 to the Big 12, even if they were original members of the Big 12. That just shows the strength of the Big 12 and the health of the conference as a whole, and where we could be at in the future. The Big 12 could grow a lot and get so much deeper. It would be awesome to see the Big 12 being able to pluck the schools that they want from the Big 10 and the SEC if it makes us stronger. Now, I'm not saying don't go after the bottom teams. The reason Nebraska would do it is mostly because of the tradition and their history in the Big 12. That has more to do with that than anything. But it would be wise for the Big 12 to look into, if it is a possibility, why not bring them back? We bring back those rivalry games that we had for years and years. The fans love it. The Big 12 fans love it. Nebraska fans love it. You talk to a Nebraska fan and they talk about how much they miss the rivalry games in the Big 12 and how special the Big 12 is. They miss the Big 12, and we miss Nebraska being a Big 12 team. So with that being said, please come home, Nebraska. We will welcome you back. Even if, your first year back, we're going to make it tough on you. Just like Colorado. They're not going to get away with an easy one this year in any game. But it's all fun, and we love you. Don't worry about it. We're here to protect you, and we're here to help you grow and get better and make the Big 12 stronger and deeper in the future. And the potential with Nebraska coming to the Big 12, it really, really, really makes you think, what other teams might we be able to draw into the Big 12? Well, we have Iowa State. We could target Iowa. Iowa would be a lot of fun to have in the Big 12 for football. It would be a lot of fun to see Iowa come in to Manhattan, come in to Lubbock, come in to Stillwater, Arizona, Arizona State, all these places. I would love to see Iowa with Nebraska join the Big 12. That would be a crazy idea, but at the aggressiveness that Brett Yormark is showing right now and has shown, it's not that it's completely out of the question that he at least explores every one of these opportunities. And I don't blame him a single bit, because I would do the exact same thing. Why not? We've already got Iowa State. We could entice a rivalry right there, and it could be fantastic. That would be a lot of fun. And I think something like the Iowa Wave, where they wave to the Children's Hospital, I think that would be an amazing tradition to add to Big 12 legacy. I've always loved that. I thought that was an amazing thing up there. It would fit so well in the family of the Big 12 and the history and the tradition of the Big 12. Iowa and Nebraska belong in the Big 12, and we would welcome them to be home in the Big 12. It's a crazy deal. It really is. And you never know what realignment's really going to happen. And right now, we're just having some fun with fun possibilities that may or may not ever actually happen. But at the same time, it would at very least, be worth exploring adding any and every team that we can that makes this conference stronger. Iowa and Nebraska would make this conference stronger and deeper. That's just the way it is. That's a fact, that they would add depth and more great teams to this conference. And there's another team that keeps getting floated around because they're not sure where they're actually going to join. I feel like Brett Yormark could push for Notre Dame. They could. I think that they will end up in the Big Ten. But I think that Notre Dame would also add a lot of depth and strength to the Big 12 as well. And I wouldn't see a problem with at least exploring that option. I don't think it's likely. I think they end up as a Big Ten team. But again, it is worth exploring every option that we possibly can. And Brett Yormark is doing a wonderful job doing anything he can to make sure the Big 12 is a powerhouse conference for years and years to come, no matter what the structure of the NCAA looks like. It is a wonderful thought to even think, because 10 years ago, realignment was something that was kind of small, and we had a few pieces moving in other directions. To see the change that we've had since then, and to think about the potential of the future of the Big 12 and the direction that they are currently headed, it is not out of the question to see the Big 12 become the powerhouse conference. And for them to surpass the Big 10 and the SEC will take time. It will take several years. But I could see a possibility a possibility that it happens. It's not out of the question completely. And I think that Brett Yormark is doing a wonderful job exploring every option that he can to make this conference stronger in every possible way, no matter what the other conferences around us look like. It's wonderful to see, and we as Big 12 fans will welcome all of the growth that we can possibly get here in the Big 12. We love the Big 12, and we want nothing more than for our conference to be a home for our teams the way that it is, and for it to grow the way that it is growing, and for it to expand in the ways that it could potentially expand is absolutely amazing, and it is exciting for us fans of the Big 12. No matter what team you root for in the Big 12 is a family, and we want nothing more than the best for our family. And you look at these teams, Nebraska, Iowa, Notre Dame, what they could potentially bring in the football season alone. They would find out that the strength of the conference through and through is so great. They would add so many more competitive games to the schedule. And Iowa last year their offense was pretty much stagnant, and yet they won a lot of games because their defense was so good. If your offense produces that little in the Big 12, you are not going to win games like that, period. That's just how it goes. And that would be a fun potential to see them even try that in the Big 12. I would be excited for that because I know that it would not end well for Iowa. But again, they are a great program who would add significant depth to the Big 12 if we were somehow able to lure them away. And I think that if we add all of these great teams and there is no change in the college football playoff, there is a possibility that in 12 teams, at least 4 of them are Big 12 teams because of how great the conference is. Like, it's a possibility if you're only going out of the Power 3, obviously, but not the way that it's set up now. The way that it's set up now, you really, really needs to be restructured, and we need to talk about a different way to do this so that it is more fair to the teams that do not end up in the Big 3 of the Big 10, the SEC, and the Big 12. Because I think when all is said and done, when all the smoke clears, those are the 3 power conferences that are going to remain. And I really think we should look at a possibility of creating a championship between those 3, and then creating a championship for the other section, for the rest of the NCAA that is still Division I football. We're not lowering them down a rank at all, but let them have their own championship. And if you really want to let the winners play each other. Let the champions of both sets of Division I football play each other. And it would be fun. And as a college football fan, I would absolutely watch both playoffs and care just as much about who won each one. I promise that. It would be fun for the fans, the teams that are involved, the programs, and for them to actually be able to compete for a national championship that might actually be within reach without having to worry about Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, Michigan, Iowa, K-State, all the Big 12 teams, all the Big 10 teams, all the SEC teams, all of them. They are great teams and they deserve a chance to play for a national championship that is actually within reach for them. And I don't think that it would be unwise to look into the possibility of splitting the two once the conference realignment has settled. And I honestly believe that's going to be a few years from now, because we're going to see a lot of shift in the conference realignment and the way things are structured right now. Who knows? The actual NCAA may not even exist in 10 years. You never actually know how this is going to play out. And it's just fun and exciting to think about. Like I said, I would be a fan of creating a national championship that the other teams that do not make it into the Big 10, the SEC, and the Big 12 could play for and could possibly win on their own without having to worry about the now Big 3. It's just a fun thought. I mean, obviously, there's way too many things that go into how you would create a playoff structure and all that. We're not worried about that. We're just having fun with conference realignment and the playoff schedule and stuff like that. It's just fun. Who knows what actually could happen in the next 5 years? It could all blow up and nothing, absolutely nothing could be the same at all. Who knows? But it is an exciting thought to have. And we are excited for the future of college sports and college football in a whole. Big 12 is magical. And I believe that no matter what the structure of the NCAA looks like in 5 to 10 years, I believe that the Big 12 has a serious possibility of still being around. And we're going to move on from the Big 12 onto some more football news and baseball. It's getting closer, and it's getting closer. The excitement is building. The tension is rising because they keep moving closer and closer to the Chiefs and the Royals moving to the Kansas side of Kansas City. Woo-wee! That would be fun. Now, honestly, I love the tradition of Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium. I really do. I grew up going to Chiefs games, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of core memories for me. Enjoyed every bit of it. But Missouri has had those bragging rights forever. And if you know someone who has mentioned this, they get quite annoying with it. And it's not that we want to take them, the Chiefs and the Royals, away from them, but it's not like it wouldn't satisfy us, because it would satisfy us more than a little bit. And man, that's exciting. Where you would build it, I'm not 100% sure, but it's fantastic. And there was something that was said that Kansas has never actually lost a professional sports team and had it move out of Kansas. Missouri has lost all of its professional sports teams, most of them. But, so that's kind of a joke. That's funny. Go Kansas. we got it better over here, apparently. No, it's not like that. We don't care which side of the state line the Chiefs or Royals are on. We are happy to root for the Chiefs and the Royals no matter what. I mean, they're still our teams. Just don't change our name. That's all we ask, is just don't mess with our tradition. But I think that they really, really could build a really cool stadium. And one of the things that Kansas City hasn't hosted a Super Bowl because of their lack of a roof. Because let's be honest, February in Kansas is not the best. It gets a little brutal sometimes. And we could get 6 inches of snow overnight. Who knows? So I get that. But I think a Super Bowl in the snow would be absolutely awesome. Let's play the best game of the year in the snow and see who's the better team. But them building a new stadium would allow them to be able to host a Super Bowl. And that's an exciting thought right there. What if, in a few years, this gets built and a few years down the line, or just like the stadium in Vegas, where not very long after they completed the stadium, they got to host the Super Bowl. That happened with the Chiefs. Who's to say the Chiefs wouldn't play a Super Bowl at home? And I don't think you could really call it Arrowhead Stadium anymore. But that's sad, because the tradition of Arrowhead Stadium is absolutely magical. And you're not going to get me to say GEHA Field. That ain't happening. It's Arrowhead Stadium to us, and it always will be. We are excited to see what the future of the Chiefs and the Royals both has in store, especially with the possibility that they move to Kansas. The other thing is that, apparently Missouri is really upset for Kansas to go after getting those teams to move there. Here's the other thought. Would you rather see the Chiefs and the Royals have to move somewhere else to a whole nother state? Why would you want that? That would be horrible for us, especially fans. Honestly, if it came down to it, if it was either they stay on the Missouri side or they go to a completely different state altogether where they're not even around us, I'd pick Missouri all day long. Why would you not? So that's just them being a little bit salty about it. And to be fair, you had your chance. You had the vote on it. And most of y'all turned that down. That's on you. That's not on Kansas. Kansas has the opportunity. We're voting for it. And why not? If you didn't want them, and Clark Hunt reportedly even offered to pay for part of the upgrades to the stadium or whatever they needed to do to get it to stay in Missouri. And they still said no. So that's on you, Missouri, not us. And we absolutely, as Kansans, welcome them onto the right side of the state line, because everything's better on this side. It's just the way it is. And like I said, it's just exciting. No matter what, these Chiefs fans, these Royal fans, it doesn't matter if you're from Missouri. You're still going to cheer on your teams. You're still going to support your teams, because these are the teams that you grew up cheering for, that you grew up watching, that you grew up supporting. This is home. This is tradition. The Chiefs and the Royals moving to Kansas means absolutely nothing other than where they are physically located. I honestly believe that. The fans, when it comes down to football season in the fall, they don't care. They don't care about that. They care about going to watch the Chiefs play and competing for another Super Bowl. Let's go for a three-peat. Why not? And if going for a three-peat and completing it leads to building a bigger, better stadium on the Kansas side, absolutely. We're all for it. Even if you're on the Missouri side, you have to cheer on your team. And we're just saying, calm down a little bit. Ain't nothing gonna change. We still love the Chiefs no matter what. We want to keep them in Kansas City, whether that's Kansas or Missouri, rather than losing them altogether to a completely different state or having them split up completely, going to two different places. That would be the most tragic scenario of all. And it would be really, really, really sad to see that happen. Alrighty then. I'm done. I'm done with my spiel about why I believe Kansas will take absolute care of the Chiefs and Royals if and when they move to the Kansas side of the state line. We'll save that for another time. If and when a permanent deal is announced. We cannot wait to hear what the future for the Chiefs and the Royals is, and we are committed to keeping the Chiefs and the Royals together in Kansas. With that being said, we will move on to our Kansas Athlete Spotlight presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Go check them out on all of their social pages. You'll see us rocking their t-shirt every once in a while. Go check them out. Jared and his entire team are great people, and we cannot wait to see what the future of Kansas athletes and Kansas sports holds for us at Tree City Sports and for these wonderful athletes. And we cannot wait to bring even more of these wonderful athletes into our spotlight. If we miss somebody, or there's somebody that you believe belongs in our Kansas Athlete Spotlight, let us know. Reach out to us on social media. Tell us, we want to cover each and every one of these wonderful athletes that we possibly can. Without further ado, bringing the Kansas Athlete Spotlight presented by Arrowhead Nutrition is Parker Bundy. Parker, take it away, bud.
What's going on, guys? Parker here, back with Tree City Sports. You know what time of the week it is. We have your Kansas Spotlight Athletes of the Week presented to you by Arrowhead Nutrition in Ottawa, Kansas. Go check him out. Jarrett's a really cool guy. Has helped us out a lot at Tree City Sports, and we can't thank him enough for his support of Tree City. And go ahead, head over to Ottawa and check out all his nutrition drinks he has to offer. So, without further ado, our first athlete of the week is Maximus Gonzalez with his teammates on the Barnstormers. While they came up just short, grabbing a few second places, they did bring home the championship at the PBR Youth World Series at Creekside on May 29th. Hoping for the same at this weekend's tournament at the USSSA Kansas AA Single A State Championship. I won that back when I was a 12-year-old, and it was the time of my life, so hopefully those guys can enjoy something similar to that. Getting into our next athlete spotlight of the week, we have Langston Gray, a 7th grader out of Valley Heights in Blue Rapids, Kansas. He's going into his AAU Junior Olympics in North Carolina and competing in Arkansas for a regional for summer track. He's doing triple jump, the 800, and the 1 mile. 3 events. He decided not to do the 400 because he thought it was the same day as his other event. But he's going to nationals in North Carolina in triple jump. Got second Wednesday in Bentonville, Arkansas, and he finishes competing Saturday in the 1 mile, so today. And Thursday he got first in the 800 meters. So actually, going back on what I just said, him competing in Arkansas, apparently we have stats already from this Thursday in Arkansas, and he'd get first in that 800 meters. So congrats again, Langston, and good job.
All right, here it is. Come on, Langston, come on. Go, 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 go.
All right, next we have from Calvin's local Central Heights High School, we have the Viking track team, which had an outstanding season. The boys 4x800 team at the 2A state track meet ran at 8:14.92, smoking fast, and Connor Berkdahl, Cody Hammond, Christian McCord, and Owen Miller rounded out that relay team. Connor Berkdahl and Owen Miller placed third and fourth at state in the meet of 3,200 meters, and Cody Hammond got second in the 1,600 meter with a time of 4:33.96. Connor Berkdahl got fifth with a time of 4:36, and Cody Hammond placed first in the 800 meter with a 1:58. And yeah, just overall congrats to that Ottawa track team. Congratulations for all your accomplishments this season, and hope you guys have a great season next year. Next, we have a two-sport athlete on the girls' side. Melanie Chris John led the softball team to a state appearance and also qualified for the state track meet. So, playing two sports at once is hard enough. To qualify for state for both sports is a great accomplishment for Melanie. Congrats to her and what she's done at Central Heights, and hopefully she continues on her athletic career throughout college and succeeds just like she has in high school. Next is Jaden Pearson from the Ottawa Cyclones. He placed 13th in the 4A boys 3,200 meter. The 4x100 relay team of Mario Brown, Owen Schutz, Miguel Perez, Jesse Brown, Trayvon Gray, and Emery Ishmael placed 12th with a 43.71. Jesse Brown placed 13th in the 400 meter with a time of 52.05. Peyton Hirachetta placed third in the girls 100 meter time of 12:64. Leah Askins Diederich placed 11th in the girls 400 meter with a time of 1:02.23. And Emery Keeball placed second in long jump with a 17-inch, I think, and then second in triple jump with a 37. So congrats to her. Just overall great accomplishments there from the Ottawa Cyclones, and keep up the good work. And lastly, for Calvin's alma mater, West Franklin High School, the boys 4x800 relay team of Andrew Patterson, Hunter Bailey, Josh Foster, and Lucas Hassler placed 9th with a time of 8:37.25 in the 3A class at the state meet. Congrats to the relay team, really good speed there. Brody Prouty placed 12th in the boys 400 meter with a time of 51.52. Hope Crabtree placed 4th in the girls 100 meter hurdles with a time of 15.64. First in the 300 meter hurdle with a time of 45.48. Sierra Creeky placed 14th in the 200 meter with a time of 27.10. And Mackenzie Walters, Hope Crabtree, Sierra Creeky, Hayden Walters, Maya Crabtree, Katie Cameron, Emron Cameron, Greeley McMahon made up the girls 4x100 relay team that placed third with a time of 50.20. Greeley McMahon, Katie Cameron, Sierra Creeky, Hope Crabtree, Emma Cameron, Maya Crabtree, Alexis Winicky, and Kate Shepard for the 10th place team in the 4x100 with a time of 4:11.83. That was a lot of names to go through, but I hope you all enjoyed getting the shout outs here on Tree City. We hope you guys enjoy what we do here. And one more thing before I go into Coach Tang, I forgot. The Ottawa Athletics have had a great season this year with a lot of growth and improvement every single game. The boys have worked hard at perfecting their game, and their last game is Wednesday. I just want to say shout out to some outstanding plays by Luke Smith, Coulter Owens, and Andrew Thomasman. and the improved batting and hard work to get better awards go to Thomas Poe and Mason Coates. Congrats, boys. Keep up the good work. Enjoy your last game Wednesday. The season went by quick, I know, but hopefully you guys can play well, win that game on Wednesday, and hopefully you guys continue to play baseball throughout your childhoods and keep having fun with it. So go Athletics this Wednesday, and let's get into Tang now. So we got some news out of the Little Apple. Tang's base salary has been raised by $500,000 a year. His original $3 million annual pay now includes an additional $100,000 each season. For instance, in the 24-25 season, he will make $3.5 million, which will increase to $3.6 million in 2025 and 2026 season, and eventually get up to $4.1 million in the 2030-2031 season. So, what this means is the Cats have raised his buyout for the next couple of years, which will bottom out to $1 million, I think, by the last season. But basically, we have Coach Tang locked in till the 2032 season. So the Cats have been making really big moves with basketball. I can see they really want to win this year. They not want to end up in NIT again. They want to be in the March Madness tournament battling for a trophy, just where we were a couple years ago. But I think Tang has put together one heck of a crew. You know, a lot of people have been wondering if he's going to leave Manhattan and go for more money somewhere else, but I think he's actually loyal to the people of Manhattan, actually cares about our city, actually cares about the people here, the college, the program. He actually is putting his feet in the ground and digging in and showing what it means to be an actual basketball coach and prove to the town that we can rally around him and win some games this year. So hopefully we have a lot better season this year. The team's looking really good. You know, we have a lot of great transfers, spending a lot of money in the portal. But yeah, I think the basketball Cats are ready to go this season. I think Tang's going to have those boys ready, fired up, and hoping to go get a Big 12 title. So congrats to Tang on his contract extension. Lastly, we have a little bit of news on Lincoln Kerr, the 5-star out of Goodland High School. So he was actually in town yesterday on a visit. You saw the posts all over social media of the old Varney sign, the new Rally House sign that said "Welcome Home, Lincoln." So apparently, Vista Burger made him a burger after the Colorado restaurant made that quarterback recruit hamburger for his visit. But I don't know if that was a myth I heard from Calvin or not, but 247 Sports has him ranked as a 5-star. So he's a 6'6", 220-pound tight end. Great attributes. You know, he really shows the all-around like stats and just contributions to his team that you need in a tight end. So looking at his college lists left, he has Kansas, Kansas State, Oregon, Texas A&M, and Alabama. At Kansas, he was recruited by Andy Kotnicki, and at K-State, he was recruited by Taylor Bray and Brian Lepak. KU has 9 tight ends on the roster with 1 commit, and K-State only has 7 with 0 commits. Oregon has 3 tight ends with 0 commits, and A&M has 6 tight ends with 0 commits. He also has Bama on here too, but the interest has cooled down for Alabama, so he's kind of down to his final 4 between Kansas, Kansas State, Oregon, and A&M. I think it's really between KU and K-State at this point. But hopefully the Cats can secure this. Hopefully Kleiman can bring home another in-state guy, a 5-star at that, and add to the Cats' already stacked roster. So, Lincoln, you know what to do. Come home, come to Manhattan, come play for the Cats. You know, there's no other better place to play in college football than Manhattan, Kansas. So if I can do anything to lure you to come, I'll do my best. But you know, I don't have all the NIL money in my pocket. I can't talk dollars, but I can say we will support you with the utmost respect, and we will root for you no matter what. If you don that purple and white. So just good luck in your recruitment process, Lincoln. I know it's a rough time. I know it's a stressful time, but again, we're rooting for you to come to Manhattan here as Cats fans, and go Cats.
Thank you so much for that, Parker. We are so grateful to have you join us once again, and we cannot wait to see what the future of sports in Kansas has in store and what other wonderful, wonderful young athletes we can put in our Kansas Athlete Spotlight presented by Arrowhead Nutrition. Huge shout out to the kids that made our list today, especially the teammates of Oakley on the Ottawa Athletics. You guys have worked so hard this year, getting better each and every game. And your guys' work to get better, not only hitting the ball, fielding the ball, throwing the ball, all around. You guys have done an amazing job getting better each and every game. And your guys' attitude as teammates, the way you guys cheer on your teammates while you're in the dugout and they're batting, you guys are chanting their names, and it is wonderful to see as a coach. And we are so excited to see what this year, the end of this year, and what next year could possibly hold for this entire team and all of the kids on it. You guys have had a wonderful season, and congratulations, guys. It has been so much fun to watch. We have had such an exciting episode today, and I thank you guys so much for joining us. This is a lot of fun for me and Parker, and we are so thankful for your guys' support. And again, if you guys have any suggestions, nominations for our Kansas Athlete Spotlight, let us know, because we want to feature as many of these great young athletes as we can. With that being said, a huge shout out to AM Creations in Ottawa, Kansas. Go check them out on all of their social pages. Our friend Royal's mom at RJN Photography. Go check them out for all of your photography needs. Our friend Drew at DNN Detailing. When you want to get your car show ready, hit up Drew, because they do an amazing job and they will take care of you. And a huge shout out to Jared and his entire team at Arrowhead Nutrition for sponsoring our Kansas Athlete Spotlight and for being great friends. You guys are amazing. People, do not forget to stop by there, say hi, try all of their wonderful teas and nutritional shakes. Everything I've had from there has been absolutely spectacular, and I am so glad to have them be such a big part of my morning routine, and it should be a part of yours too. Go check out Arrowhead Nutrition. This has been a good one, guys, so I hope you guys have liked it. I have. I enjoy this every single time I get to do this. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do not forget to go like and subscribe to all of our pages. Until next time, y'all take care now.